Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family, and today I'll be talking about Prince William's upcoming trip to New York and what appears to be Harry's very obvious stalking of him. The Earthshot Prize will be held in New York in September, with Prince William expected to be there. But just a few days ago, Harry's PR announced that he will be in New York in September for an African Park Summit. This is the organisation which has been investigated, or is actually being investigated, for crimes against the African communities, literally raping and pillaging. Harry has so far turned a blind eye to the concerns about this organisation, but it seems that when it comes to his brother and his obsession with him, with trying to outdo him or at least get a reaction, Harry manages to create a meeting in the same city where his brother will be at the same time. Just as Meghan has been accused of being obsessed with Catherine, equally, Harry seems to have an obsession with his brother. Harry's trip has been described as a power-packed solo trip by People magazine. Interesting to note that Harry has also confirmed he will not update his book Spare with new bombshells, and this is supposed to be a major olive branch to his family. As far as stalking his brother, this is not the only time. He stalked William last year to Singapore. Prince William announced his trip in May, and Harry did in July. As the Earthshot Prize location is planned at least 2 years in advance, Prince William knew that he was going in 2021. And he held an International Environmental Solutions Award. And then we have Harry showing up and playing a polo match, and as always trying to make it appear to be a royal tour. It's so obvious that Harry and William are just not on the same level, but Harry's always pushing it and trying to appear to be doing something amazing, and his PR push this as well, when it's nothing compared to what his brother is doing. There was a time when Prince William was interviewed in the past and asked who would win at arm wrestling, he or his brother. William replied that it would of course be him, and explained that he has more power over his brother, being the eldest. He definitely has more mental power over Harry, and it appears to drive Harry crazy because he cannot outdo William when it comes to mind games. The royal family's motto has been to never explain and never complain, but the late Queen was very good at chess and also, I believe, a great strategist. There is a book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu, which I have, and it makes very interesting reading. A lot of it is common sense, and many of us probably apply it in our lives already, but there is some that is genius and definitely would give somebody the edge in life. I would not be surprised if the Queen had this book when she was alive, and I definitely think that Prince William has, because of the way that he's handling Harry. It's all about winning psychologically rather than physically. Harry has won many a polo match against William, mostly because he doesn't seem to care as much about the pony's welfare as William does. It was said that William would rather lose the game than drive a pony into the ground. Most of what Prince William is doing is ignoring Harry. The more books that Harry writes, the more secrets he exposes, the less likely William will speak to him anyway. He definitely will not respond, and that is what gives him the power. Harry has even resorted to making it public that he wants to make up with his brother. Forgive and forget type thing, but that hasn't worked, because his brother knows that he's not genuine. He's just desperate to try and get some control. William has kept his dignity, and Harry has gone all out to try and get his brother's attention. It's really no different from the times when they were children, and William was being sensible and serious for the camera, and Harry was desperate for attention and doing anything to get it. I think the only thing that would get Prince William to soften would be Harry admitting he was totally wrong, not just apologising, but actually admitting he made a massive mistake. Many mistakes. But even then, I don't think that he would get back in. I think it would take a long time, and long enough time for William to see that Harry had really changed, which is unlikely to happen. I think one of the lowest points for Harry was sitting at a banquet recently hosted by the Vice President of Colombia. Harry wasn't just in a gymnasium with tables pushed together, which was a far cry from Buckingham Palace ballroom, but he was on another table which was separate from Meghan and the so-called VIPs. Harry was, as I said in my previous video, shunted to one side, it appeared, on the kiddies' table. Crockery and cutlery was pretty basic, and he didn't look too happy. There was no tablecloth and what looked like cheap rattan placemats, no crystal wine glasses, just the basic supermarket ones which come 4 to a box. What a letdown and what a come down for a prince of the realm. Now, regarding the brothers, word is going around that William absolutely does not want Harry at his coronation. This must be coming from friends of theirs because there's no way that William would announce this. William is not a stranger to being stalked, and aside from being stalked by the paparazzi, especially when on foreign holidays with Catherine before they were married, there is one incident where, in recent years, where a video showed Prince William confronting a paparazzi photographer in Sandringham. This was a total breach of privacy, and Prince William was justified in confronting this photographer because his children were with him as well as Catherine. He's always been very protective of his family, and if it's just he and Harry involved, he handled it totally differently. When his family are involved, he really does see red. It will be interesting to see in September whether both brothers are going to be in the same room together or not, and if they are, how will things transpire? Prince William does not trust his brother, and I cannot see any interaction between them happening. Will Harry attempt to attend William's event, do you think? Or is it a case of him just having his own meeting there and letting William know that he's in the area and trying to make him nervous about his presence in the same city at the same time? If this is Harry's way of trying to get one over on William, then it's a pretty futile attempt, because the Earthshot Prize will have a lot more attention and most people can see what Harry is trying to do. Now just a quick add-on, because I've just seen some news which is connected to Prince William and Harry actually being together in the same room, so to speak. It's just come up on my newsfeed. I'm doing this with my laptop, built-in mic. I haven't got my setup for this, so apologies for the change in sound. Basically, what I'm reading is that Harry and William were supposed to both be at the funeral of Lord Robert Fellowes, the husband of the late Princess Diana's sister. And Town and Country magazine says Prince Harry made a quiet trip to the UK this week to attend the funeral of Lord Robert Fellowes, his uncle. And it goes on to say that his brother Prince William was also at the funeral, but they apparently kept their distance and sat separately and did not speak to each other. So I don't know whether this actually happened. I've seen no photos, so I've not heard anything about this apart from what I'm reading here. Also, there were no photos of Harry arriving in the country, no photos on the way to the funeral, outside of the funeral, on the way back, because, yeah, fair enough, there wouldn't be any photographs taken during the actual funeral out of respect. But I really don't see how Harry could come to this country and attend something like this and not be seen, and for someone not to get his photo on their phone. So watch his space. I don't know if something will show up. I'm not convinced he was there, but we'll see. So let me have your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.